fellow adventurers of Azeroth, gather round and lend me your ears, for I have a tale to tell. As your lawmaster, I beckon you to the whispering shadows of the Silverpine Forest. Within its moonlit embrace lies a fortress steeped in betrayal and dark allure. Join me as we unravel the mysteries of this historic stronghold, where every stone murmurs tales of old and a savage curse lingers in the air. Welcome to the realm where the howls of the Worgen echo through the night. Welcome to Shadowfang Keep. Long before it was known by its ominous name, the keep stood proudly as a symbol of Gilnean strength and nobility. Back then, it was called Silverlane Keep, named in honor of its founder and ruler, Baron Silverlaine. This fortress, perched atop the commanding bluffs, overlooked the quaint village of Pyrewood, serving as a guardian against any who dared threaten the peace of Gilneas. The Silverlaine lineage was known for their just rule, ensuring peace and prosperity throughout their lands. As the years passed, dark clouds of war gathered over Lordaeron. The Scourge, a terrifying undead army, swept across the lands, leaving death and desolation in its wake. Shadowfang Keep found itself on the front lines of an unimaginable horror. Baron Silverlaine, determined to protect his people, rallied his forces, but they were ill-prepared for the nightmare to come. In desperation, the people of Gilneas turned to Arugal, a reclusive but powerful archmage. Known for his eccentric methods and extensive knowledge of forbidden magics, Arugal proposed a dangerous solution. Ignoring the warnings of the Kirin Tor and with the reluctant blessing of King Gen Greymane, the wizard summoned the Worgen from the Emerald Dream to battle the Scourge. At first, the Worgen appeared to be their hailed saviors, tearing through the undead ranks with a savage fury. However, their bloodlust was unquenchable. Once the Scourge was crushed, they turned on the Gilneans themselves. Shadowfang Keep became the epicenter of a new nightmare as the beasts overran its defenses, slaughtering the inhabitants, including Baron Silverlaine and his family. Haunted by his failure and the devastation he had unleashed, Arugal retreated to the now ruined castle. Racked with guilt, he descended into madness, declaring the Worgen his children and embracing the curse he had brought upon the land. The keep, shrouded in darkness and despair, became a place of dread, its halls echoing with the howls of the damned. It was during this time of chaos that the sorcerer encountered Alpha Prime, the first of the Worgen. Alpha Prime, who had formed the ravenous wolf cult, sought to use the Scythe of Elune to free his Worgen brethren still trapped in the Emerald Dream. Recognizing a shared vision, Arugal joined forces with Alpha Prime, further spreading the Worgen curse throughout Silverpine Forest. The wizard's rule over Shadowfang soon became tyrannical and twisted. He used his dark magics to bolster his control, transforming more unfortunate souls into Worgen and conducting foul experiments. The once noble keep became a den of horrors, feared by all in Silverpine. Its shadow loomed over the land, reminding all of the folly of desperation and the price of meddling with forces beyond comprehension. The tale of Shadowfang Keep became a cautionary legend, a story whispered in the taverns of Pyrewood Village and beyond. It stands as a haunted relic, a symbol of the corruption of power and the tragic consequences of despair. The howls of the Worgen and the ghostly wails of the fallen Baron and his household instill fear and terror in all who gaze upon this once great fortress, now lost to the shadows. Near the entrance to the haunted Shadowfang Keep, a band of brave adventurers gather, their eyes set on a daunting task. Before them looms the dilapidated, foreboding stronghold, its aged stone walls overtaken by sinister ivy, the air thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the distant howls and whispers that seem to emanate from within. The keep, a place of legend and dread, holds untold dangers, but the explorers are resolute in their mission. With a shared nod of determination, they advance over the weathered bridge and step into the dimly lit interior. The entrance hall, draped in shadows and cobwebs, echoes with their footsteps. As they step inside, their path is barred by a massive gate, behind which Worgen and spectral figures can be seen roaming the courtyard. The gate stands shut, an unspoken challenge to those brave enough to seek entry into the deeper, darker recesses of the keep. Turning right from the main entrance, the adventurers find themselves in a corridor that chills their very bones. The narrow hallways are packed with bleak wargs and Shadowfang white scalps, Worgen creatures with glowing eyes and bared fangs, ready to pounce on the trespassing explorers. These vicious creatures prowl the path ahead, remnants of a twisted experiment now bound to the keep and its malevolent master. The group moves cautiously, reliant on their skills and unity to navigate this perilous section, aware that each step could provoke a deadly skirmish. The tension mounts as they approach Rethilgore, the Cellkeeper. Entrusted by the dark Archmage Arugal, he vigilantly guards the cells holding Deathstalker Adamant, Sorcerer Ashchrome, and Landon Stillwell. In the cells lie the consequences of their actions. Those who boldly attempted to break into Shadowfang Keep, now captives under Rethilgore's strict surveillance. Behind the Worgen, they can glimpse the figures of the imprisoned agents and the party of explorers, aware of the captives' strategic importance, steel themselves for the inevitable clash with this creature of nightmares. The battle with Rethilgore is intense, yet fleeting. His ferocity is unmatched, but the adventurers, with their combined might and strategy, gradually overpower the Worgen. Each strike brings them closer to their goal, and as the Cellkeeper falls, a sense of triumph fills the air. Deathstalker Adamant, with a nod of grudging respect, remarks on the timely demise of the beast, while Sorcerer Ashchrome, despite his disdain of his undead cellmate, finds rare agreement with his unlikely ally. Freed from their confinement, they swiftly move to unlock the doors leading further into the keep. With this first obstacle overcome, the group now readies itself against the greater dangers and hidden truths that await them in the shadows. In the shadow-draped courtyard of the keep, the air is thick with an otherworldly chill. The moon hangs low in the sky, casting a silvery light over the uneven cobblestones. The atmosphere is heavy with the scent of moss and the unspoken tales of the haunted servitors who used to walk these grounds alive. The seemingly peaceful silence of the courtyard is broken only by the howls of Worgen moonwalkers, a sound that sends a shiver down their spines. As the party approaches a stable, the calm ambience shifts, growing colder, more foreboding. Inside, fell steeds and shadow chargers, creatures of myth and legend, stand in wait. Their coats shimmer in the darkness, eyes glowing with a blazing fire, and the group pauses, taking in the sight of these majestic yet formidable beasts. The plan is swift and decisive, and a warrior steps forward, drawing the attention of the stallions with a defiant roar. The battle erupts into chaos, and the stables are filled with the clash of steel, the crackling of magic, and the fierce cries of the beasts. A mage amongst them extends her hands, casting a spell that envelops one of the steeds in a magical glow, momentarily transforming it into a harmless sheep. Through teamwork, the adventurers overcome the challenge. The menacing creatures lay defeated, and the group quickly secures the prized fell steed saddlebags and the eerie stable lantern, essential for their journey ahead. The saddlebags are surprisingly capacious, ideal for storing the various treasures found within the keep. The lantern casts a ghostly glow, promising to reveal the secrets hidden in the shadows and guide their way through the darkest corners of the fortress. After successfully navigating the courtyard of the keep and its stables, the party of adventurers press onward. It has started to rain, and the air grows increasingly heavy with the scent of decay. Emerging from the stables, the group of explorers find themselves in another narrow, dimly lit passage. As they advance, the distant sound of metal scraping against stone grows louder, guiding them to their next formidable encounter. The passage opens into what was once the kitchen of Shadowfang, where Razorclaw the Butcher lurks among the remnants of his gruesome work. This simple kitchen is now a grotesque charnel house and the macabre quarters of the Butcher's savagery. The evidence of his brutality is unmistakable, Bones scattered across the blood-stained floors, rusted utensils repurposed for nefarious ends, and the lingering acrid smell of death. Razorclaw, having slaughtered many innocents under the command of his master Arugal, turns his baleful gaze upon the intruders. His nickname, the Butcher, is well earned, and he snarls a chilling welcome. The fight commences with the Worgen charging forward, his claws glinting in the torchlight, and the adventurers spring into action, their weapons at the ready. The clash is fierce, and Razorclaw's ferocity is met with the group's well-coordinated tactics. They expertly dodge and retaliate, exploiting the Butcher's every weakness. The tide of battle shifts as the party gains the upper hand, their strikes becoming more confident, more forceful. Razorclaw eventually falters under their relentless assault, his growls turning into whimpers of defeat. In the aftermath of the confrontation, the adventurers catch their breath, the adrenaline slowly ebbing from their veins. Among the spoils, they find Razorclaw's cleaver, a weapon as grueling in appearance as it is impressive. Its heavy blade, stained with the tales of past atrocities, now begins a new chapter, wielded by those who have overcome darkness with valor. With this formidable weapon in their possession, the group prepares to delve deeper into the keep's heart, ready to face whatever horrors await them. The adventurers continue their exploration through the passages of Shadowfang Keep. Their path, illuminated only by the flickering of candlelight, takes them to what was once the grand dining room of the fortress, a place where laughter and conversation have long since been replaced by an eerie silence. In this noble hall, the group encounters Baron Silverlaine. The Baron was the former lord of the keep, where he now haunts the room as a spirit, a tragic remnant of the castle's tumultuous past. His presence is commanding, yet tinged with the sorrow of his downfall at the hands of Archmage Arugal. Accompanied by the ghosts of his servants, he stands as a somber guardian among the remnants of his former glory, the dining room now overrun with the unliving. As the brave explorers ready themselves, the haunting echoes of the past yield to the grim reality of the imminent battle before them. The encounter with the spectral lord of the keep is a challenge unlike anything the party has seen before. His veil of shadow adds a complex layer to the confrontation. This ability casts a shadow curse, enveloping the battleground and significantly reducing the effectiveness of healing spells. It's a dire threat, turning the combat into more than a mere test of strength. It becomes a showdown of wits, strategy, and survival. Realizing the danger, the healers step forward, focusing their efforts on sustaining the warrior bearing the brunt of his assault. As Silverlaine finally succumbs, the great hall, still heavy with the aura of his ghostly presence, lightens ever so slightly. In the wake of the battle, the adventurers find themselves rewarded with notable relics from the Baron's past, his scepter and the Silverlaine family seal. These items, steeped in history, are not just trophies of their victory, but also symbols of their journey through the halls of the keep. With these new acquisitions, the group prepares to face the remaining challenges of the fortress, their resolve strengthened and their purpose ever clearer. With little time to catch their breath, the adventurers move further into the stronghold. Their next challenge lies in the council room, a place heavy with the weight of history. The spirit of Commander Springvale, a valiant paladin and leader of Baron Silverlaine's troops, now haunts these halls. Bound to the place of his untimely end, the ghost seeks to avenge his lord with his unholy strikes, a tragic twist to his once righteous purpose. The commander guards his chambers with vigilance, a spectral figure radiating both nobility and sorrow, and as the party enters, the air thickens with an otherworldly chill. Flanked by his loyal retainers from beyond the grave, this assembly of adversaries presents the next challenge to overcome, and the explorers know they must act decisively. The confrontation begins with a tense energy. The haunted servitors and wailing guardsmen, their ghostly forms barely clinging to this world, are the first targets. The group focuses their efforts, swiftly dispatching the specters before turning their attention to the commander, wielding powers that once served the light. The air in the council room crackles with ethereal energy as Springvale prepares to unleash his abilities. His Hammer of Justice, a powerful force from the beyond, becomes his primary weapon against the adventurers, summoning a stunning wave of energy with each successive blow. The party, alert and agile, anticipates this move. They expertly dodge and weave through the assault, each member displaying their honed reflexes and battle-hardened instincts. The clash intensifies as Springvale calls upon his holy light, attempting to mend his wounds and prolong the struggle. The explorers, however, are prepared for this as well. They strategically coordinate their efforts, disrupting his focus and cutting through the healing light with precise, forceful strikes, and their attacks leave the commander no chance to recover. In the battle's climax, a flurry of decisive blows begins to overwhelm the paladin, a force that even his tormented spirit cannot withstand, and Springvale's form begins to waver and flicker. As his essence dissipates, a momentary peace settles. The adventurers find the commander's crest and an arced war axe among the remnants, symbols of their victory and tools for their forthcoming challenges. With these in hand, they press on, fortified for the darkness that awaits. Having vanquished Commander Springvale, the party advances cautiously. Their path leads them across a narrow wooden bridge, clinging to the fortress's rugged walls. This precarious structure, used by soldiers for vigilant watch and patrol, offers a commanding view of the surroundings and the lower-lying Pirewood village. On the other side, they encounter Odo the Blindwatcher, a fearsome foe shrouded in mystery. Odo, despite losing his eyesight, has adapted remarkably to his environment, much like his two pets, a bloodseeker and a vile bat. These creatures, with their keen senses and vicious nature, are the Worgen's loyal companions in battle. As the adventurers engage Odo, his bats swiftly join the fray. The vile pets, capable of disarming their foes, prove to be a significant challenge in and of itself. The group tactically positions themselves, readying for the confrontation. The Worgen's resilience quickly becomes apparent, and with each wound he suffers, his sightless temper builds into a howling rage. This primal fury enhances his attack power and causes his form to grow in size, making him an even more fearsome adversary. Each successive howl is more potent than the last, and his pets too are bolstered by this surge. Aware of the escalating threat, the party members exchange quick glances among themselves and swiftly change their strategy. They target the bats first, aiming to weaken Odo's support, before pivoting their full focus back to him. The strategy proves effective, and with his companions defeated, the group slowly but surely wears down the Worgen's own defenses. In a final, concerted effort, they overcome the Blindwatcher, his last howl echoing through his chamber as he falls. With their heartbeats still racing, the adventurers regroup and survey the area, and a wave of triumph washes over them. Amidst the remnants of the confrontation, they discover Odo's lay-staff and the girdle of the Blindwatcher. Instead of hastily claiming these items, they take a moment to reflect on the shared trials of their journey, each member acknowledging the significance of their victories achieved up to this point. In silent agreement, they leave Odo's lair behind, continuing their quest and embracing the uncertainty of what lies ahead. The adventurers delve ever deeper into the stronghold. As they emerge onto the cold outside ramparts, a sense of anticipation fills the air. Rumors had circulated among them about an elusive spectre, the Deathsworn captain, a warrior whose ghostly presence was not always felt in these haunted halls. Many had doubted the tales, dismissing them as mere whispers and ghost stories. Yet as fate would have it, the group soon finds itself face to face with this spectral warrior, his partially visible form still patrolling the ramparts as though bound by an unending call of duty. The encounter with the captain is sudden and intense. His spectral blade gleams with a ghastly light as he engages the explorers without hesitation. His cleaving ability, a sweeping arc of ethereal energy, poses a significant threat, compelling the party members to spread out and avoid clustering together. They skillfully dodge the crippling blows of the captain's hamstring, a tactic that seeks to slow their movements and make them easy targets for his remorseless strikes. His presence is further complicated by the tormented officers that accompany him, cursing the group at will. The battle is a dance of precision and agility. Each member plays a crucial role, overcoming the warrior's tactics and the threat of his cursed companions. Their teamwork and focus gradually wear down their formidable adversary. As the ethereal form of the captain begins to waver and fade, the group feels a great sense of accomplishment. They have defeated a legend, proving their skill and bravery. Among the spoils, they discover the phantom armor and the haunting blade, relics embodying the captain's might and symbolizing their victory over one of the keep's oldest myths. With the Deathsworn commander's spirit laid to rest, the adventurers take a moment to regain their strengths. Despite this being their first foray into this castle, a sense of pressure hints at the final challenges yet to come. The party's journey continues, marked by a growing legend of their own. Leaving the ramparts, the outside bridge leads the explorers to a spiraling structure. As they descend the winding stairs, growls start to reverberate through the stairwell, signaling the lurking beasts in the chamber that lies below. This lair, a den of danger, is the domain of the fearsome sons of Arugal, direct offspring of the Archmage himself. Amongst them lurk Shadowfang Ragetooth Worgen and lupine horrors, and the party members tighten the grip on their weapons. But as these adventurers engage in the fierce confrontation with the sons of Arugal, it becomes evident that they are not the same group of unseasoned explorers that first entered the stronghold. Honed by the variety of the conflicts presented within the keep, they've become adept at facing the onslaught, weathering wave after wave of challenges thrown their way. Effortlessly countering each curse, they swiftly dispatch their foes and navigate through the chamber. Their path soon leads them to another staircase, marking the next phase of their journey. The stairs lead the group to the main study of Arugal, a room heavy with the scent of old books and shadow magic. It is here they encounter Fenrus, the Devourer, a massive warg and the favored pet of the Archmage. This beast guards the knowledge and power contained within the room, its eyes gleaming with a predatory intelligence. The air in the study becomes charged with tension as Fenrus detects the presence of the adventurers. The warg launches at the group, unleashing his toxic saliva, a potent ability that saps the strength and energy of its targets. The explorers counter this with timely maneuvers and getting themselves out of harm's way, minimizing the impact of the warg's corrosive attack. The battle with Fenrus is intense and demanding, a true test of their abilities and resolve. Through a combination of strength and teamwork, they gradually overpower the creature, and with a collective might, Fenrus the Devourer is defeated, and with a thundering roar that echoes through the halls of the fortress, the warg succumbs to his wounds. Upon hearing the roar of his beloved companion, Arugal himself emerges on the upper level of the library, presenting the party with their first view of Shadowfang Keep's infamous master. The Archmage, with a wave of his hand, calls forth 4 of his Voidwalkers, ethereal beings, and the adventurers spring into action once more. As the last of the Voidwalkers falls, the group finds Fenrus's hide and the black wolf braces among the scattered tomes and arcane paraphernalia of the study. These items, bearing the spirit of the fearsome warg, are valuable additions to their arsenal. Gathering their newfound gear, a gate to the next section of Shadowfang swings open, beckoning them forward on their journey. Entrenched deep within the tower of the keep, the party of adventurers soon finds themselves in a barn-like chamber with a palpable sense of foreboding. Here, they will face Wolfmaster Nandos, the penultimate boss of the fortress. Surrounded by his pack of lesser wargs, Nandos exudes control and menace, a sentinel guarding the path to the climax of their journey. The room, alive with the low growls and restless movements of the feral beasts, sets the stage for the upcoming confrontation. His command over the wargs is evident, each creature an extension of his will, ready to heed his call to battle. The explorers prepare themselves, knowing the challenge they face is not just Nandos, but the pack that he commands. The fight begins, and the party quickly targets the wargs, understanding the necessity of reducing their numbers before engaging the Wolfmaster directly. As he summons more minions throughout the confrontation, the adventurers respond swiftly, dispatching each new threat while keeping focus on Nandos as the primary target. The battle intensifies, and eventually, through skill and determination, the group succeeds in quelling the pack and turning their full attention to Nandos. With the last of his wargs fallen, the Wolfmaster stands alone, his following diminished, his defenses exposed. Isolated and overpowered, Nandos is finally brought to his knees, marking the end of his reign. In the aftermath of the battle, the chamber falls silent. Among the spoils, the explorers find the feline mantle and the Wolfmaster cape, items imbued with the essence of the Worgen's command over his subordinates. With the Wolfmaster defeated, the group takes a moment to gather their strength and prepare for the final confrontation. A shared understanding, unspoken but deeply felt, guides them towards the last path that leads to Archmage Arugal, the architect of Shadowfang Keep's terror. The adventurers, their spirits lifted by their successive victories, exchange a brief nod. In that silent gesture, they recognize the long journey they've endured together. Poised and ready, they move towards the ultimate challenge that awaits them in the endmost chamber of this fortress. In the very heart of Shadowfang Keep, the explorers find themselves at the threshold of the final confrontation. The last and most formidable challenge awaits them in the form of Archmage Arugal himself, the mastermind behind the horrors that have plagued the stronghold and its inhabitants, and the culmination of their efforts. Arugal, a former mage of Dalaran, now resides within the deepest chamber of the keep, consumed by his dark experiments and the Worgen curse he has unleashed upon the world. The group steps onto the raised platform of his lair, and below them, 3 Worgen descendants prowl, unaware of the impending clash of steel and spells. They execute a calculated move, drawing the minions away and dispatching them with precision, clearing the path to their primary target. The Archmage stands across from them, an imposing figure with a reputation for quickly incapacitating unprepared adventurers. The warrior of the party, bolstered by his heavy armor, prepares to withstand Arugal's thundershock, while the healers ready themselves for continuous and intense support. The group's priest and warlock focus on draining his mana reserves. This tactic is crucial for impeding his ability to unleash his void bolts, a spell that inflicts severe shadow damage. As the battle commences, Arugal's voice booms, "Release your rage," turning one of the heroes into a vicious Worgen. The other members react swiftly, using fear spells to control the situation, understanding that this transformation is not permanent. The Dark Wizard's ability to teleport adds to the chaos, necessitating quick reactions and strategic positioning from the explorers. They utilize every tool at their disposal, and as Arugal's mana pools dwindle and his attacks become less frequent, the adventurers sense their opportunity. With a final push, they overpower the once mighty wizard, his defeat marking not just the end of a conclusive battle, but also a significant milestone in their journey through Azeroth. In the aftermath of their epic encounter, the group carefully sifts through the remnants of their victory. Among the relics, they uncover the Archmage's robes, his belt, and the meteor shard, items that are far more than mere spoils of combat. Each item, once a symbol of obscure rule, now marks a new chapter for the fortress, its curse lifted by their bravery. The heroes take a moment to reflect on their journey, the challenges they faced, and the strength they found within themselves. With Shadowfang Keep now rid of its Dark Master, they prepare to emerge from its shadowed halls, their mission accomplished and their legend cemented in the history of their adventures. Following his downfall, Shadowfang Keep underwent a dramatic transformation, and Arugal's story took a sinister turn. In a dark twist of fate, he was resurrected by the Lich King and transported to Shadowfang Tower, situated on Bloodmoon Isle near the Grizzly Hills. Here, his illicit sorcery flourished once more, spreading the Worgen curse throughout Northrend. Meanwhile, the Gilnean nobleman, Vincent Godfrey, seized control of the abandoned fortress. Betraying both his homeland of Gilneas and the Forsaken who had raised him from the dead, Godfrey, along with his allies Baron Ashbury and Lord Walden, converted the castle into a bastion of disloyalty, marking a new chapter in the dungeon's history. Amidst these turbulent times, the keep also became the unlikely setting for the peculiar activities of the Crown Chemical Company. Under the guise of celebrating love and intimacy, Apothecary Hummel and his associates conduct their less-than-romantic experiments in the courtyard. This annual masquerade, however, was eventually dismantled by detectives of the Steamweedle cartel. Emerging from the halls of Shadowfang, the adventurers carry with them a sense of hard-won victory tempered with exhaustion. The defeat of the wizard and his minions marks a significant blow to the forces of the wolf cult. Their journey back through the winding paths of Silverpine is one of reflection on the confrontations they've endured and the secrets they have discovered within the stone walls of the keep. Dusk falls over the land, and the adventurers go their separate ways, each carrying with them the haunting memories of the castle and its ghostly battles. Their deeds are now woven into the realm's folklore, and in the moonlit shadows of the forest, they venture forth, their heads held high and with eyes set on new horizons. As the lawmaster of Shadowfang Keep, I am honored to have escorted you through its shadowed halls. Until our paths cross again, valiant wanderers, and may your adventures be as bold and enduring as our journey through these cursed walls.